I'm thrilled with the players we've got so far this season signed up. I think we got some really good quality, and we got a couple more spots left to fill, and I think we'll bring in the same type of quality as we have. And if we can fill the roster with the plans that we have, then yeah, I'll be delighted. I think we're gonna be an exciting team. I think we're gonna have a lot of speed, even more speed than we had last year. And we're going to be skilled, really skilled up front. So, we're trying to add a few pieces here towards the end to find that balance in the roster. And but so far, yeah, we're overly thrilled with what we've got. So obviously, Chaumont enjoyed his time here. I think with how much he enjoyed it, it showed on the ice. I mean, he was top points per game in the league after he got to the Fife Flyers, and I think he ended up joint third in the league in scoring. So he was a huge part of our club last year. I mean, he gave us that go-to guy that was dangerous and could put points on the board each game. And those games where sometimes you're struggling and nothing seems to be going your way, he can kind of create something out of nothing. And you need guys like that because you're not always going to have your best every night, and you need guys that have that special skill that can create something and get you a goal. Torch. I think we've spoken about it in the past. We put him in a tough spot last season to start the year, where we had him playing out of position. We didn't have that depth, and we didn't have a Brit that could was a natural centerman. So we tried to utilize him in that position, and for the most part, he did a decent job. But I think it affected his game individually. And you seen towards the end of the year, when we dropped myself down on the third line and put him back into his natural position on the wing, he played fantastic for us. I think down the stretch, 3 of the last 4 games or somewhere along those lines, he led the team in hits, and he was great on the forecheck and created a lot of energy for us. So that's what we'll be looking for him to do from the start of the season, and hopefully do it for a full season for us. And then Horny is just, he's a solid guy at the back end. He's a veteran. He knows this league, and when he's playing well, he gives us that extra, import quality on the back end. And Horny, we've made it clear how important he is to our team. And like I said, when he's playing his game, he makes our defensive core a lot stronger, and gives us that extra guy at the back end that can give us that quality. Fulton will bring us a lot of speed, a lot of grit. He's got a little bit of size to him. He's not an overly big guy, but he's got enough size where he's going to be effective in those dirty areas, and we want a bit more grit. Sometimes that's tough to find at this level. The guys that have a lot of grit and a lot of size and can play on top of it are unfortunately at higher levels and demand a high wage. And you see a lot of the teams like Nottingham and Cardiff and Sheffield, the teams that have a little bit more money and spend a little bit more money, and they tend to get those guys. Whereas we got to find the right balance. We don't have the depth that maybe some teams have, so it's tough to bring in a guy that's one-dimensional. But if you can find that balance, I'm all for it. I'd love to find a few more guys like that. And in Reber, we get another guy that can fly, really fast skater, along with Fulton. And like I said, he plays two ways and gives us a guy that can play in all situations. A right-handed shot on the power play, which we desperately needed last year. On top of Chaumont. So they give us a little bit of everything, and guys that can log a lot of minutes, and we know how important that is in this league. Well, yeah, I mean the intention was always to bring that core back, but unfortunately sometimes guys get other ideas and they have other aspirations. It's been evident that a couple guys most likely, we've already had Keller announce his retirement, and a couple other guys I think are on the fence of what to do. And a couple guys, we've had discussions with, and we just we haven't been able to come to agreements. It's not from a lack of trying, and it's not fault at their end as well. It's just one of those things where, we have a price range in mind, and we're not a huge budget club, and sometimes guys want a little more after they've had good seasons, but you can't blame guys for that. At the end of the day, it's they're making a living and supporting themselves, and if they have family and so forth. So we are trying to, but whether we do or not, time will tell here in the next 5-6 weeks. Getting good crowds, played a part, and being able to add guys like Bobby Chaumont and Podge Turnbull down the stretch. If you're not getting those crowds and you're kind of on a string, you might not be able to bring in those additions late, and sometimes when you bring in those additions, it injects an energy into the team and some new life, and sometimes a team can flourish from it. So, and it can also have its it can also backfire as well. You bring the wrong person in the room and it can disrupt things. So that's why, at times, Dudes and I take our time with guys sometimes, and it can be frustrating, but we're not guys that just have a name come across the desk and look at the resume. Oh, he played a game in the American League, sign him. We do our research, and we want good guys. And it's a smaller town in Kirkcaldy. It's it's an old character building, and you get a lot of I'll just come out and say it, you get a lot of spoiled guys in the game these days, and they're used to the big arenas and they're used to big city living, and might not enjoy it as much in a small town atmosphere like they do. And we want to find guys that are come here and we're honest with what we say to them about the place. And I think it's a fantastic place to play. Dudes thinks it's a fantastic place to play. Guys like Bobby Chamon thinks it's a fantastic, but the next guy might not think that. So we like guys to be informed and know what they're getting into before they sign up. And the guys that usually do are more than thrilled to be here.